in her hands, the Canadian setter. 5 aces in the tournament. She's tied for second. That was a good serve. Here comes the attack. Canada's got a chance. O'Reilly, who's going to touch it? It's going to be Van Reich, but it's out.
Yeah, Van Reich, the leading scorer for all of the Canadians. Expect her to get a lot of balls in this match. Didn't have her greatest performance against the Netherlands, so I can imagine she's kind of wanting a bounce-back performance as well.
Not facing the same kind of blocking, that's for sure. Here's Ishikawa serving. Taken by Johnson. Van Reich tries a power tip, doesn't work. Middle attack, kept alive. It's going to be set by Johnson. Who's going to play it? Van Reich taking off high hands. Right side attack, right into the middle from Wada.
Yeah, that's our player to watch. Second amongst the Japanese right now with 29 points. She's got the most experience of the players on the court for Volleyball Nations League, as you see Japan with a different lineup today. For sure, and 3 setters ready to go. One out there, Seki has great European experience. Stockboom through the middle. Canada gets its first point of the match. Yeah, Stockboom made her first start of Volleyball Nations League just a couple of days ago for Canada, but she's already become, I'd say, a staple for this Canadian offense in this tournament. I don't see her leaving the floor anytime soon.
Andrea Mitrovic, averaging 9 points a game over the first 2. Middle attack, and no success with that pancake dig.
Well, it's nice to see some new players getting a lot of touches for Japan. There's Iraqi. I mean, normally we've been seeing Irie as a middle blocker. Simamura, who's not even dressed today. She'll be starting tomorrow, though. And it's just a load management thing. When I was talking with their head coach, Farhad Akbash, before the match, he said, our last match was less than 24 hours ago, and our next match against the Dominican Republic is less than a 24-hour break. And he's like, we've got to manage our players. That's why you're seeing this different group out today.
Here's the aforementioned Nayadali Thakboom. Her serve taken well. Japan, a great receiving team, and then tooled off the block by Yoshina, who is their leading scorer in the tournament. Nice start here for Team Japan. Canada trying to not let them get away. Johnson with the pass. She's going to get an attack. Pulls out the left hand. Yoshina blocked. Big block for the Canadians. Van Reich and Magli go up together.
Maglio is a wall for Canada. 6 blocks so far at Volleyball Nations League. This was a great pickup by the Japanese to keep the ball alive. And watch that solid block. Van Reich sets it. Maglio closes it.
Van Reich always dangerous at the baseline. And the crowd oohing and awing. Oh, Hillary Johnson climbs the ladder and finds a treat.
Well, here we see Yamada actually trying to go off of the block and out, but nope. Johnson, next patience up there, hanging and putting it away.
Listen to the crowd ooh here. Oh, Van Reich takes something off it. Down the line, Yoshina, does she get a touch? No touch. And 3 straight points for Canada.
Yeah, this was a really nice set, given the fact that it was pretty tight. Seki, though, who's been the setter for Japan for all of this tournament, just so solid at the net.
And stepping on the line was Kira Van Reich. Just barely got her little toe over it.
Now, Giovanni Guidetti, he's not going to be upset about this because he told the players before this match, I am going to allow you to make some service mistakes as long as you are putting even more pressure on the ball. High risk, high reward is what he wants in today's match.
Here is Yoshino Seto. They're targeting Hillary Johnson. Maglio, does she get a touch? No, she does not, says the referee. Canada asking for a challenge and getting that. So if you're just starting to watch Volleyball Nations League, they're not challenging whether the ball is in or out. That is handled automatically. It's whether there's a touch or no touch. Japan saying, yes, we touched it, so they don't need to go through the whole process. Nicely done.
Oh, and that's the reputation of Japanese volleyball. They are really nice. That's actually something that Ferhat Akbaş is trying to change in terms of their style of play, get more aggressive in attacking.
I like that.
I do too.
Especially when you know the video is going to show it anyway. Don't waste all of our time.
Yeah.
Just put your hand up.
I agree. Just keep the rhythm of the match going.
Good job by Japan to get that side out. Yamada serve, taken well. Van Reich with the thunder, the pipe.
Well, she is used from every corner of the court when it comes to attack and offense, and here she is just finding a couple inches of seam between the Japanese block. She also plays for the head coach Ferhat Akbaş, or pardon me, Giovanni in Turkey.
Did. We're wondering where she's going to end up next year. There are rumors about, but I'm not going to reveal any of them. So we got a pretty even game here, 7-7. Nanami Seki running the offense for Team Japan after she does the serving. Got a little too powerful on that one.
Now, last year in the Olympic qualifier, Canada beat Japan in a marathon match, and it was seen as a major upset. It kept Canada's Olympic hopes alive, and then the next day they had to face Netherlands. They lost that chance at the Olympic spot, but that's going to be a memory for these Canadian players, because the last time they faced Japan, they beat them, and they're definitely still considered the underdog to this Japanese team.
Yeah, for sure. Well, it's always going to be a clash of styles. Canada's got bigger size, got a lot of power, superstars. Last year it was Alexa Gray who had 30 points in that game. Kiera Van Reich had 27. One of those is available. And O'Reilly trying to pop that one up, but it's hit with some great power from the right side.
Yeah, and Wada has had a lot of attacks so far in this tournament, and she is a very impressive hitter. Cross court, off hands, down the line, you name it.
Captain of Team Japan, Ishikawa. His brother is also a star with Japan. She's got an ace.
Yeah, and she's got those big shoes to fill as well with Serena Koga retiring. We were talking to Irie earlier this week that she said they have begged her to come back and play. She said, nope, I'm done with the national team. New chapter.
O'Reilly with the one-hand set for Thakboom. Nicely brought up by Japan. Yoshina shut down by Thakboom.
Well, this is a wall. There was nowhere to go. Watch the angle that this ball comes down at. I thought that somebody might get that under their legs. That's incredible.
Andrea Mitrovic, solid outside hitter for the Canadians. Kept alive. Can Johnson get a hand on this? No, it's going to go out, and it's point Japan.
Too bad after being able to keep that ball alive. And Bria O'Reilly is really just reacting quickly, trying to put it out to her outside hitters. But that's one of those points that if you can transition and you tie it up, you know, it gives you a lot of life.
Instead, 2-point lead, Japan, here in this opening set to 25. Out of system attack coming from Van Reich, who does a nice job staying off the net. Herman with the up, O'Reilly sets up. Van Reich, who hammers it.
Yeah, and right now Van Reich and Johnson are talking about that tight set, you know, saying, hey, no worries, I got it. And Van Reich powers it down that line.
Serving 11. Taken well by Nishimura. And nicely handled by Wada off the block.
Well, and Wada gave the fact away that she was tipping pretty early. And I don't know if the Canadians were trying to drop their hands, but I think they've got to get a bit tighter in to cover that block, because you got to expect the tip's going to just be kind of tight in that area.
And is it? Yes, it is! An ace from Wada. Timeout call, Canada down by 3.
Hey, it's okay, it's okay. Hey, we are not playing bad. Just we lose the point for our game. 2-3 sets other side of the net. We don't put the hand in block. I don't know why. Let them make 2-3 aces. We already have 4-5 good transition balls. That we are losing. One easy tip, one tip there, one tip at the other ball. 2-3 sets that we want to tight. We have to play people proper side. Easy in our game. We are controlling, okay? That attention reception here, because they're saving a lot here, okay? Step back, and we control better. Let's go. Bye. We are.
I love that message. We're not playing bad. We're just losing those 1 or 2 points. And, you know, this is the biggest gap that the Japanese have gotten. It's 3 points. You just got to slow it down. One thing Giovanni also said before the match, he said, we can't make the same mistake the Netherlands and Serbia did. They started strong and then they withered away. If we have a strong start, great, but we have to try to maintain that throughout the match.
Big serve receive coming here. Wada. Taken well by Mitrovic. Johnson nicely off the block and point Canada.
Well, it's a great attack. And I can see right now, Japanese head coach Farhat is talking to his blocker. He said the one thing, like Japan has looked perfect in this tournament, but their block is not perfect, and that's what they've really been working on, so I think he's going to be frustrated with that point.
Van Reich back at the baseline. Canada's block strong, play goes on. Slide play, again blocked by Canada's Maglio. They come again, Yoshina, Merman right there, O'Reilly. Van Reich hammers it.
Well, some key moments in this rally. Maglio, fantastic work at the net. Blocking. And I think that Ferhat Akbash is talking to the referees about something he's not happy with.
I wonder if they think that Kira took off.
Yes. Net touch in the first rally.
The attack line.
Yeah, so you're wondering if it's a back row attack violation. That means when Kira Van Reich just attacked that ball, she has to be behind the white line. If her foot, any part of it touches that white line, it's a illegal attack.
Actually, we are seeing on our screens pending challenge for Japan net touch. So apparently that's what the referee called, although Kira Van Reich seemed to have scored a point.
Interesting. So we're going to take a look at it.
Well, this is earlier in the rally.
Yeah. Now, here's the reason why it's a good challenge. The net was moving.
Right.
And so if it's moving, well, how did it begin to move?
Right.
Now, maybe it was the ball early in the rally. It didn't go back far enough. But anyways, in any case, unsuccessful.
And that means number 3, Van Reich, loading up again. And she hammers an ace.
Wow, she's one of the top servers in the world for a reason. 5 aces entering this match. Already adding to that total. Just a gunslinger right there.
Does she go back after Yoshina again? Almost touches the end line again. Oh, and that one falls at the feet of Maglio and Johnson on a great play by Japan to get out of the jam.
Yeah, they're so close to blocking it. Here's another look at that serve. And I mean, Nishimura, fantastic pass, creates that offense.
Yoshina, who is Japan's leading server, now to go. And she's missed it long. Tie game.
Well, Canada's hanging in there. A reminder, Japan beat Serbia and the Netherlands, both of them, in an hour and 15 minutes.
Hillary Johnson is going to be heading to Brazil to play this year. Out of system attack from Ishikawa, and that is off the touch. Point Japan.
Well, this is a great set, way outside. Ishikawa, triple block, and decides to go off of those hands into that deep 5 corner. I think that's been a game plan, some of their strategy, because we've seen that move a few times.
Oh, nice leave from Mitrovic. I think got help from her teammates. Emily Maglio's going to load up. Takes it on Ishikawa. Out of system attack coming for Canada. Tight set. Good save by Mitrovic with the left hand. And we heard a whistle here. We had a net touch on Canada. And Giovanni Guidetti does not want to use his challenge, I don't think, here.
Yeah, and it might have been just a very slight touch of the net here. We're going to get a replay. Doesn't look like the net's moving, so it might have been a good time to use it, but...
I thought I did see a little bit of a move.
Okay, okay. Gosh, I got to get my eyes checked. There's a very good chance.
It's the stronger glasses, that's all. Boom on the slide play, but no touch. And Japan, again, inching ahead by 2 points.
And here's the thing, Canada has had a strong start, and as Guidetti said, can we hang on? Don't let that level get lower.
Wither,
Keep it high.
Mitrovic off the block touch and down.
Really nice attack. And Mitrovic rather, she knows that most of the sets she's going to get are out of system balls. As Guidetti said, she's a garbage player. I need her to clean things up.
Here comes an out-of-system play. Ishikawa cross court with such precision.
Yeah, Guidetti, I can just see him talking to Libero Merman saying, you got to get more perimeter on that. That's where Japan loves to hit. They go deep on the edge of the court in their attacking.
18 serving 16, Ishikawa. Taken well by Johnson. Mitrovic was hoping to hit hands, but does not. And a timeout call, Canada.
I put here because to have the best attacker here in 4, and then you have the best one of Dolly. You have one of Dolly, double quarter set, one of Dolly here, and you play with Andrea. That is 3 weeks. You're gonna attack one ball from position 2. And to attacker, you call gap and 4 with Kira there. Kira will have to meet her in a free. And gap and 4 worked very good yesterday. Why one leg to Dolly again? 3 weeks you don't make one leg. Aye. Simple thing, but good. Let's go. Aye.
1, 2, Canada!
Well, Seki right now, the setter for Japan, has had a pretty easy job for the most part. There's been a couple of aces, but when the Japanese do pass it up, it is right to her. Guidetti said we need to get her off the net by at least 3 meters. The players are allowed to miss serves and go harder if we can do that. So watch for her. If she can get off the attack line, he's going to be happy.
Canadians preparing for Ishikawa again. And she has missed that one, but a nice idea.
Yeah, she was really trying to go for a short angle there in position 2.
17 serving, 19. Andrea Mitrovic. Just an overpass. And this is going to be point Canada. They're going to call it the other way. It's invasion by Japan.
Challenge for a reaching beyond the net. You want challenge for reaching beyond the net.
So this was a very close call because on one hand was Hillary Johnson reaching over the net and invading the space where Seki was trying to set.
Okay.
And Japan will challenge this. and they're challenging what I exactly just said. But what the call was that Seki was playing the ball, and that Hillary Johnson was able to then block it, and Seki played it into her block, which then makes it an illegal back row attack.
Right.
But this is like where it's a very fine balance, because it's like, where was the ball when Johnson touched it? And you can't just go up there and like move it. You have to be almost like a wall with your blocking hands. You have to be very disciplined to make sure you don't get called for the interference. But it is, to me, yes, it looked like Seki played it into Johnson's hands, therefore, illegal back row attack. And I think Farhat Akbash is okay with that decision as well after the replay.
Maybe.
Yeah, there's a little bit of doubt in his eyes, but it's a hard one to call.
Bottom line, it's a 1-point game. Andrea Mitrovic. That's a hard one to take if you're a Canadian fan.
Yeah. Where it's that risk reward on the serve, and that's where the Netherlands and Serbia have failed to make Japan uncomfortable.
Matsui coming into the game, she's the extra setter. She's a good server. That's what the coach said to me earlier today. She sends it at Mitrovic. And Van Reich was a little late to get there because it was tight. And then she pummels it through the block.
Yeah, it was a hurry up and wait set. Watch her here. The set's coming from a long ways away, so it's hard to time that. You don't know how quick it's going to come, but what a hit off hands.
Thokboom, 1-point lead, Japan. Seki goes back set, beautifully done by Wada.
What do you know? Wada with another kill. Once again, cross court. That's really where the Canadians are trying to funnel her through, not leaving her any line.
It's that one upwards of 90 kilometers per hour. Hits that one pretty hard as well. Merman's gonna set this for Johnson. Oh, what a save! And almost again by Yoshino. Yoshino, beg your pardon.
Great effort by Japan. They almost had this, and it's high off hands. It's almost impossible to dig. Look at that. Ishikawa gets a hand on it. Great work by our camera people as well to capture that look.
20 serving 21. Guess who's got it? Van Reich. Wow. Oh, and it's tied. Maglio.
That is the serve Canada's wanted, and the crowd here is loving it. Too much for Ishikawa to handle.
Repeat the same serve. She changed. Okay. Second thing, now Simrek is in block so high, right? But she's so weak at defense. You can tip in front of her all the time. There is no setter on the other side. Transition very slow ball. Wait as much as possible, okay? And you can try to use block out.
So Farhat Akbash there, he said the transition is a slow ball. So what he's meaning is that when Canada is receiving the ball, or more likely in defense, that set from the setter is going to be slower, so he's asking his blockers to be more patient, okay? Sometimes there's setters who run really quick out-of-system balls, not so for Canada. So he's saying just slow down on the block and wait. Again, blocking an area that they want to improve.
Van Reich. Coach says he's okay with that. He's clapping, saying move on, next play. And we've got the other half of the double switch here. Quinn Pellin coming into the game. She's going to run the offense. Canada had no setter on the floor. Now they do.
Yeah, Canada's used this double sub, but they've substituted one player in after the other frequently, and it's Smrek I always watch as well. Look where she's standing on the court. If we get the big view, she is going to make a big run around all the players to go play defense.
And to do so with her 6'9", 2 meters 5 frame.
Yeah, she's on the outside. Watch her run all the way around.
Out of system. She's going to get the swing at it. She should be warmed up. Oh, I thought that was on the ground. Nice dig by Merman, but it's over. Joust at the net. Kept alive. No approach. Still got it over. Free ball chance, Canada. All the attackers ready. Middle attack. Kept alive, Fukimura. Ishikawa hammers it. Finishes the rally. Beautifully done by the Japanese captain.
Man, Japan was so solid on block defense in this rally. Great pickup there. Oh, I can't believe she got it up. And then another good dig, but they also got a solid block touch. And then finally, it's Ishikawa that puts the nail in the coffin.
All right, looks like we might have a challenge.
Nishimura is the libero for Japan. I might have said a different name. I apologize. Get a challenge here?
Yeah, they're actually challenging that ball, that was a pancake dig by Japan, that it touched the floor. They don't believe it was a dig up. And
it was a long time after the play. That's my only question.
It was, and you know what? Sometimes I think it takes a while for the video to review on the bench because there's people dedicated to watching the rally to decide, oh, are we going to challenge this or that? But it's crazy because Ishikawa was almost serving by the time they challenged. I believe she was back to serve, but yeah, we'll see. When we saw the replay, I thought to myself, great dig, but I wondered if there was just a little bit of the ball that contacted the floor. Hard to see. Yes. Remember, I've had eye issues today.
It looked like such a great play. So too bad of it was.
Well, here's a look. Is there a foretouch? It's a successful challenge. There was, and look at Guidetti. He's saying yes to the video coach. That is the video coach's point. Hey, they say it's a team sport. It is definitely a full team effort.
I think that was Vincenzo, the assistant coach, who was getting props from Giovanni Guidetti. Bottom line here, folks, 22-22 opening set. This might well be the biggest challenge anyone has given Japan this week in their third game in the Volleyball Nations League, the number 6th ranked team in the world.
Well, and this is icing Maglio. She's been back there waiting to serve for about a minute now. As they adjust the points.
Some servers will throw the ball back to the ball boy or girl and then kind of warm up a little and then get a new ball back.
So I would do that because I wanted to keep my routine as similar as it was, and my routine wasn't to wait for a minute to serve. So yeah, I'd throw it away, come back into the huddle, go back, but Maglio clearly doesn't phase her. So look at the rotation that the second referee gets to look at, just to make sure it's his job to make sure that the players are in the correct rotation.
Luis Macias from Mexico. And Borowski is actually coming into the game to serve. Going to take the ball out of the hands of Maglio. Symbolically, not technically.
But number 14 from the service.
Lucy Borowski, the 22-year-old University of British Columbia Thunderbird.
Not a bad program.
Number 14 because you won the point. Because you won the point. After the challenge, you won the point. You have said you were serving. The number 14 is the server. No, the number 14 because you were serving.
So here's the thing. There's a question of the rotation. Because Canada was serving against Japan, it's the same player that needs to keep serving. It's not like they lost the point, but Canada went one rotation. So they're going back a rotation, and that's why I think we are getting a view of the rotation box on the bottom. They were out of rotation. Now, luckily, they figured it out before they served, but this is where Ferhat Akbaş is upset because he says, well, if they're out of rotation, then why aren't we getting the point? I don't know who warned who at what point.
So both coaches are not happy.
Well, Akbash is right to be angry because he thinks that Canada should lose the point if they were warned.
It's canceled.
So now that Canada's going to make that substitution, it looks like anyway, with Borowski in and Maglio out. Do they have to actually make a substitution to reverse the substitution?
Yeah, is it nullified? Well, let's see if we can hear.
20's here. 20's here. Yes. 20. 9, 14. 20. 20. Hey, come on. 18. 11. Libero and 26.
All right, we're good.
And so here's the thing. You're always allowed to ask for a rotation check. There's no issue there. You can say, hey, can we just check our rotation? It's not like there's a delay of game for that reason, but this is what it is. And it's interesting because Borowski was substituted in to serve, but she is no longer serving because they had to go back one.
All right, here we go. Hillary Johnson serving. Does well to get it in after all of that rigmarole. Merman with the up. Canada attacking. Johnson doesn't want to swing from the back row. Wada does and scores.
Well, it's a point for Japan, but I would say that Canada, they lost that point because of their errors. They had a great serve. They put Japan in an uncomfortable situation, but then miscommunication, they couldn't get a rhythm going on offense. So it's not a good way for that rally to end for Canada.
Maglio's coming back in the game to do her work in the front row. Pierre Van Reich is still on the bench. Japan 1 point away from set point. Helen does well to keep that ball up. Kept alive by Wada. Here's Ishikawa, blocked. Great job by Wada. Ishikawa again. And she has got hands, and it's set point Japan.
Well, look at the block she was facing. Anna Smrek was right in front of her, over 2 meters tall, and she still manages to get a piece of the hands.
All right, the double switch reversed for Canada. Pierre Van Reich is back on. Brie O'Reilly back in to run the offense as setter. Ishikawa doing her job, the captain of Japan, reminding her players of whose job is what. Here comes the serve. O'Reilly all the way across for Mitrovic, hammers it deep.
Well, when Canada needed it most, Mitrovic gets it done. This was a great set. Nice in-system play and splits the defense for Japan.
Timeout call for Japan. Down or up a point.
So
Still with set point.
Maglio is at serve, means she's at defense. Okay. So Van Reich second line. If we are in trouble with the pass, make sure that one of them are on the floor. Okay? If Van Reich is on the floor, make sure that you go to left side for blocking. Okay? They score all the ball cross court. There is always a gap. 間アタックお願いします.
Well, a lot of technical information given in that timeout. There was coaching on if Van Reich's on the floor. She always scores cross, so they want to be outside for the block. Interesting, because I think you'd want to maybe take more away from her cross court, but I might have missed something in communication there. And then also talking about when they're in trouble passing.
The serve taken by Ishikawa. She gets the swing. Canada's got it up. Here they come out of system with Mitrovic. Tries the tip. Covered by Wada. Here's Ishikawa. Here's Van Reich. Tie game. 24-24.
Well, Van Reich must have overheard the timeout because she decides to go line and it scores.
Maglio. She'd love that one back.
Well, once again, Guidetti said he's not going to be upset with some missed serves. He doesn't want 20, but he doesn't want, you know,
but that's
easy serves as well.
That's a missed serve of not putting any power on it. And it's over. The set goes to Japan, 26-24.
Well, it was Japan and their unity, their organization, to me, that beat the Canadians. Canada definitely had them, they had them close, right? But we'll see if Canada can maintain some of that level. That's what no team has been able to do, to hang with Japan for all 3 sets. Until the Netherlands, no team had even gotten more than 20 points. The Netherlands scored 21 points in 1 set, but otherwise, it hasn't even reached that mark. Here's another look at the ace for Japan to win set 1 here at TD Place Arena. Drops right in front of Johnson, and what a float serve. Behrad Akbash might have had the most animated cheer of all the players, or of all the team. At one point, he was on his knees celebrating one of the rallies. Prepared to play tomorrow, but again, load management.
All right, we're underway, second set. Thakboom really nails that one. And the opening point goes to Canada.
Yeah, Thakboom made an impact immediately in this game, early in set 1, and then didn't see a lot of middle attacks as the set got deeper, but great start here out of the middle.
Oh, that just barely misses long. Good eye by the Japanese players to peel away and let it drop.
Yeah, good miss. Tough serve, just out.
Ishikawa. Mitrovic's going to do the setting for Johnson. Nice pickup from Yoshino. Here's Ishikawa. Shut down by Maglio and Van Reich.
That's probably the strongest block that Canada has. When Van Reich and Maglio are together, and when it's nice and closed, it's huge. Maglio doing the bulk of the work there, but Van Reich, her presence is just intimidating for another team.
Oh, that's a good point. Here's Van Reich, the baseline. She's missed it, but not by too much. I think that's the kind of error that the coach is happy with.
For sure. But here's the thing, sometimes the players are asked to serve short. Sometimes a coach is saying, go 2, 3, 4, and if you miss it short, it looks like it's a soft serve, even though it's a very tactically difficult serve.
Yeah, good point. Oh, great dig from Araki. Again, this block is strong, kept alive. Seki the back set, and Wada hammers it.
Well, so far, a couple attacks down the line for Van Reich. I love that she's switching it up, but once again, the defense for Japan showing why they are one of the best defenses in the world. Maybe the best.
Seki, great setter, the understudy to Asha Vowash at Conegliano last year. Van Reich bump set across for Johnson. Nice pickup from Ishikawa. Here's Wada again. Oh, what a dig from O'Reilly. This has got to go over from Van Reich. Free ball chance, Japan. Middle attack. Good block, Canada. They come again. Picked up Mitrovic. And Kira was hoping to catch some hands, but didn't quite do so.
Yeah, and Canada taking a little extra time in the huddle to discuss things. They're down by 2. And now, I believe that Johnson on this set to Van Reich forgot that Van Reich might have been back row and was setting her up in the front row, and that's why Van Reich just had to try to swing for something.
Here's Johnson, hammers that one down the line.
Well, Wada just absolutely committed here on Maglio in the middle, and then she was too late outside. side, and Johnson recognizes that she's got a lot of court, smacks it.
Hillary Johnson, 3 serving 4. Canadians trying to draw even. Get a block. Japan comes again through the middle, and Maglio almost, but not quite.
Man, she is all over the place blocking though. She's moving quick. It is so hard with this quick Japanese offense to make sure you're keying on all your hitters, and even just getting a hand on that, just inches away from getting a block.
Yukiko Wado, one of several players on the team who plays for the Red Rockets in the Japanese league, and she's just missed that one long. So both teams being aggressive from the baseline.
Yeah, I actually noticed that, Rob, that just Japan's been really going after their serve as well. Going after it, but they are also one of the best serving teams in the world. But yeah, I feel like they're putting a little extra pressure today on Canada.
Emily Maglio. A couple of those of late. To find her right rhythm and pace. Yoshino, another of the Red Rockets, had an 18-point game against the Netherlands. Think about that. That was in a sweep. She has just missed it. Everyone waited to see the referee's reaction, but it was out. So we don't have line judges because we've got video with our Bolt 6 crew. They've got 22 cameras. They immediately tell us if that is in or out. Nice play there by Yamada.
Yeah, Yamada making her first start of this Volleyball Nations League. Nice quick slide play out there and cuts it back cross court. Usually you see a cross court shot on those plays because that's where the player's momentum is coming.
Believe it or not, Yamada is yet another of the Red Rockets from the Japanese league. O'Reilly bump set for Van Reich, and that's going to score a point. It doesn't have to be pretty.
So sometimes you can see how many kilometers per hour players hit it at. I wish we had a stat that showed how heavy the hits were, because Van Reich, you can just see the way it goes off of the block. It is such a heavy, hard-driven attack.
It goes off both blockers. It just ricochets around like a pinball machine. Yoshino trying to save it. She does. Ishikawa makes something of it. Nicely done. Middle attack. Thokboom kept alive Wada. Free ball over from Araki. Here comes Canada. Middle attack. Thokboom nails it. Tie game.
If at first you don't succeed, try again. And that's what Thokboom did here. How high is she? Just soars.
Andrea Mitrovic. Ishikawa makes the pass. Merman. Van Reich is dug. Nice pickup from O'Reilly. So Merman does the setting for Van Reich. Drills it down the line. 8-7 Canada.
Well, here's the thing. Van Reich's having a lot of success down the line, and obviously the video coaches are going to tell her that. I think she's going to continue going there. She hardly has any line, too. And when they funneled her cross court, Akbash said, thumbs up, love that.
Mitrovic serve. Taken. Slide attack, and point Japan off the touch.
Yeah, small touch here. I think it actually went off the edge of her forearm. We are tied up, though. To me, this is the most that Japan's been pushed so far this week.
For sure. O'Reilly, one-hand set. Van Reich drills it, but nice pickup. Wada hammers it, and O'Reilly was there, but couldn't quite pull it up.
Yeah, it's too bad she couldn't reward herself with another chance after that great one-handed set. Wada, just so much hang time when she was up there attacking. I'm just mesmerized by her.
Here's Seki, serves it at Mitrovic. O'Reilly has to chase it down. Good job by Thokboom. O'Reilly. Johnson nails it deep. That is where Jill Guidetti wants his team to attack.
Yeah, and I like that Johnson takes a rip at this rather than going high off hands, which she loves to do. It's a perfectly placed deep attack, right into that 5-6 seam on defense.
Ronnie Guidetti was watching the action there from almost behind the court, and he's gonna love that ace from Fakboom.
Well, here's the thing. Canada now has 3 aces in this match, 8 errors. Not a bad ratio for what Guidetti is demanding from his team.
Do you target Ishikawa again, or do you shock somebody else? Here's Fakboom. Taken by Seki. And hammered by Ishikawa.
Yeah, Seki gave Ishikawa a lot of time here. I mean, the set's coming from outside of the court. And that's what she's gonna do. She's gonna go high off of hands because she knows that the block's already parked out there waiting for her to hit.
Captain Ishikawa. Solid pass. Rocket shot from Van Reich. Speaking of red rockets.
Young fan loving getting on TV. Yeah, well, Van Reich smacks it off of Yoshino's block and out.
First player in the game in double figures. Kira's got 10 points. What a serve, but what a job to pass it.
Oh.
And it's going to drop in. Yoshino with a beautiful shot.
Well, and Wada knows that she gave that ball. She set it so fast to the outside, given that she's not a setter. Players aren't usually expecting a set like that from an opposite hitter.
Yuka Araki, one of the Paris Olympians on this team, Japan. Trouble on serve receive. Here's Johnson on the set from Merman. Seki back set for Wada. Mitrovic takes. Johnson tries the two-hander. Maglio through the middle, and Canada takes the lead back.
Well, Bria O'Reilly, just a great job in this rally, distributing the ball. Guidetti said she is one of the top 3 or 4 setters in the world. She's going to be playing in the United States next year. He says he wishes she was playing in Italy so that she could play at a really high level all year, and that's the only thing maybe preventing her from being the best setter in the world.
Challenge coming from Japan, and head coach Farhad Akbas, the first non-Japanese head coach of the women's team in Japan, taking over from Masayoshi Nanabe.
Yeah, one thing that was interesting, before he took the job, he was the assistant coach of the team, but he really integrated into what some of the traditions of Japanese culture are, because that is so important if you're the head coach of that team, to understand what the federation, what the country kind of expects from you in terms of respect and how you deal with players.
Right. Oh. So that's okay.
Yep, yeah.
Yeah, you can't have your foot entirely over the line.
Yeah.
As long as there's no space between the end of your shoe and the line, you're okay.
Definitely flirted with it though.
Yeah.
It was close there.
There was some flirting. Can't have too much flirting in volleyball. Here's Johnson. Tickles it off the top of the net. Seki back set. Wada beautifully tooled off the block and scoring.
Mitrovic showing a little frustration. Watch her try to get out and block Wada. Watching her. Oh, and just couldn't quite turn around at the right time.
Yukiko Wada ready to serve. Great serve. Herman takes. Here's Mitrovic. Blocked. Recycled by Canada. Mitrovic. Good job by Wada to save it. Pushed across for Yoshino. Canada digs it, but can't get on the other end of the play from Mitrovic.
And Guidetti, he's constantly said from Mitrovic, he needs you to pick up some of these balls, be a grinder of a player. She was there. Watch this offense, cross court attack. She gets a piece of it, but it's not quite high enough, and unfortunately, she's going to get subbed off.
And into the game comes Abby Goosen, the University of Alberta Panda, the 19-year-old. What a serve into the net. Tie game again, 13s all around. There's another one.
Coach's point, hey, for making the substitution. Just putting a little doubt in the server's mind.
Out of Coquitlam, British Columbia, there is Emily Maglio. Taken well by Ishikawa. Back row attack, and this is going to score. Don't do it, Kira.
Well, that's a great set because you got two players. You're not sure who to jump with, right? Do you follow the middle or do you key with the back row?
Yeah, and we really didn't want Kira to try to hurdle the advertising boards. So Fukuzawa coming into the game to serve. Canada out of system here. Goosen with that windmill swing. Here's Ishikawa, cross court, misses.
Nice chip off with the hands. Oh, what a pickup in the back court. Ishikawa, you could tell she was going for Thokboom's hands.
Rio Riley serving now for Canada. The setter sends it at the libero, Nishimura. And what a hammer from Yamada.
Well, Thokboom was late on this. Yamada, she sees all of that cross-court, huge gap in the block available.
Good
Watch
serve.
her come around here. Yeah, great serve, and then boom.
Japan 1 point ahead in another tight set. Goosen, nice dig, Japan, and then they watch it drop. Or was the play over already? I didn't hear a whistle. That doesn't happen on Japan.
I was gonna say, take a video of this, capture it, because this is very rare to have miscommunication. Oh, there was a net touch. I wonder if that's why they stopped playing.
They knew it. That makes more sense. Here's Abby Goosen serving. This idea trying to go deep. This is that line.
Lots of communication in this back court.
Crowd into it. Here's the setter, Nanami Seki. Getting to Busto Arzizio in the Italian League this coming year. Here's Johnson. Nice take high, out of system. Ishikawa, and she's gone. No, she's missed it.
Well, it's just out, and I think Goosen's going to be quite happy that she just missed this as well, because she was going for that. But there's going to be, I believe, that Japan has requested a video challenge on a touch. I'm not sure if it was on that dig or the block. Because here's the thing, with Goosen committing so much to trying to get that defense, I wonder if she thought there was a block touch. That's why she was going for it. And you can get a really good view in a block touch or not in the back court. Oh, they are getting the point.
So they are getting the point. Canada has called a timeout.
And there's that. Ooh. Oh yeah, Goosen touched the ball. As she was playing defense and going for it, she just touched the ball. So it's not the block touch.
Is that a challengeable play?
Challenge.
I think everything's challengeable now.
Challenge
But you said the block touch.
on the back row. On the back row.
Volleyball Canada, we got some t-shirts.
And their confirmation from the referee.
2-point game. Timeout call Canada. Let's listen.
Attack. Here we have position 5. Okay, stop. Position 4, stay here. I don't care. No 3 block. Position 6 here. Ready to run. Position 1 here. You don't need to stay here. They never tip one time. Here, clear. All of them. No.
This is go, yes? You don't want to...
Eyeball.
okay.
Eyeball. Eyeball. Quick ball. Every ball. Okay, let's go.
Keep it on him, eh? Let's go.
Let's go.
1, 2. so far right now, Canada's got to be happy with the fact that they have stayed and hung with the Japanese. That was a big goal for Guidetti. He said, do not make that same mistake that Serbia and Netherlands did and have a strong start and then go away. They're in this right now. Just 2-point difference.
And Reich has to really hustle to get over that and then get it down.
Oh, she thumped this ball. Sometimes I'm worried about the floor. If there's going to be some dents, they're going to have to do repairs after attacks. This is one of them. There's a little spin on the ball, and that allows her to get even more rotation on the attack.
Boom serve produces another ace.
Well, that's that tough serve that Canada knew it needed to bring to get Japan out of system.
Her second ace of the match already. Coach will take it, he wants the aggression, be courageous.
High risk, high reward. Now, can the server do the job?
Ishikawa has an ace already in the match as well. She's a dynamite server. Goosen's got it, one hand set. Maglio thought she had touched the net, I think. Play went on, point Japan anyway.
Well, and Fairhat Akbash has every right to be upset with this because I think Maglio, when she punched the ball over, made contact. Let's see again here. Yeah, she clearly touches the net, but there was no call on that play. Wada finished it off anyways. They don't give 2 points in volleyball, but if they could, that might be a rally.
There you go. Jessica Andrews, the 21-year-old from Bowling Green University, makes her first appearance in the Volleyball Nation League for Canada. The big number 37 is out there. Van Reich hammers it. Nice dig by Ishikawa. Wada beautifully off hands to score. And it's a 3-point lead, Japan.
And this is the block defense that Japan wanted. Funnel Van Reich cross court, get the dig, and then put Wada in a situation where she can just swing her hands.
The defense, we don't take one defense in position 1. So at least we try to block. Because we don't defend in 5, we don't defend in 1, block linear and close the linear. Okay, bye.
Okay, bye. BRB? Nope, just see ya.
So the rest of the discussion is among the players. You can sort this out. You've got your leadership.
Well, here's the thing. Sometimes the message is simple. And that one was just very, close the line. Yeah. We got to close the line, and we just saw Wada score off of Johnson's hands down the line. So he wants Johnson to take more of that line away. So watch to see if there's an adjustment too in the defense, going more cross court for Canada.
All right, here comes Ishikawa looking to deliver again. Taken by Goosen. Johnson. And point Canada. Is it a net touch?
Yep, that's what the call is. You can see middle blocker just nicked it on the way down.
So Canada's got no setter on the floor right now. I think that means Hillary Johnson will do the setting if needed, but it's going to be Kira Van Reich to serve. Taken by Nishimura. Van Reich is going to set Johnson, actually. Nishimura across for Wada. Almost picked up, but not quite, by Anna Smrek, who's come into the game.
Now this is where Japan is so smart. They know that Smrek is into the game. So where do they put all the sets? Well, they're making sure that she's not a factor in blocking, and instead they're exposing her on defense. All the sets went to Wada there.
All right, coming into the game for Japan is Airi Miyabi, 26-year-old, played in the U.S. NCAA in both Minnesota and Idaho. Speaks really good English. Here's Johnson, tip, covered. Johnson, nobody stopping that one.
Yeah, Johnson, nice net play. First set, too tight. She has no choice but to tip it over. Look at Seki, reads it like a book, and then this ball, instead of pounding it, delicately touches it over. Smart.
It's hard to tip against this team from Japan usually. Here's Wada, doing Wada-like things, scoring points at will. It seems she leads the match with 15 points now. Coming into the match to serve is Matsui, played at Salt Lake City last year in League One. Merman solid up. Here's Goosen. Wow. What an interesting swing she has, Claire.
Yeah, it's well, let's take a look at it again here. I call it the windmill swing because her arms coming back from so far. Sometimes coaches try to get rid of that habit. I actually swing the ball like that. I felt like it gave me more power, but it's not good for the rotator cuff.
Ah, yes. Here's Jessica Andrews. Oh, that's a good serve. It's got them scrambling. Yoshino picked up by Pelland, who's setting now for Canada. Goosen tries again to go cross court, but not this time.
Yeah, and that arm swing there, more of a slingshot. It's just she's getting her arm really far back and nice and high on contact, which is superb.
Best outside hitter in the Japanese league last year was Yoshino. She's ready to serve. Ooh, nice take by Norman, but Helen has to bump set it. Goosen out of position. Good job by Merman. Helen's got this. Free ball, chance for Japan to get set point. Mission accomplished as it pinballs around on the Canadian side.
You gotta love some of the coordinated cheers by some of the teams, especially Japan. Couple tries, but yeah, Japan just outpowered Canada on that one.
Cavalry coming back in for Canada. Van Reich and O'Reilly. Here's Yoshino. 4 set points for Japan. Merman takes, but it's an overpass. A chance for Japan to finish it. Back row, Wada! And they win the set, 25-20.
Well, what a dominant finish by Japan.
So Ishikawa, Yoshino, Araki, Yamada, Wada, Seki, Nishimura. Here we go, third set. Ishikawa shut down by Goosen.
The youngest player on the team starting set 3 off with a massive solo block. Got out there, fires the team up.
Really nice patience on that. Waited for the perfect time to jump. Seki, middle attack, finds Araki, and that's going to score.
Here, out of the middle, again, nice to get that involved. Remember the percentages for Japan in the second set? Not a lot of middle attack, so Araki's going to like that.
Araki not only getting her first start, but getting her very first action all week. And an ace from Ishikawa. Canadians have got Delaney Watson in at libero right now. Who's so good on serve receive the other day.
Well, in Farhad Akbash, he asked for, wanted harder serves this set, and he's gotten them so far.
So Watson is cheating over a little bit by Johnson, but they still get the ball at Hillary Johnson. Now Van Reich from the left side, just misses.
Yeah, she had to hesitate just ever so slightly on this approach. Ball was really high. Again, she's not used to hitting out of that outside position very often, so timing slightly off.
Timeout called quickly, Canada down 3-1.
can we attack strong in the court and in the end? For the team that don't block, we cannot take a short diagonal or out 5 meters. We have to attack on the block. They will make point for us. And you are receiving minus 50. So let the libero help you. You don't have to help the libero.
Right back, hey, right back. We start 0-0. 1-2, Canada!
So we've seen Canada going for those block shadows. What that means is when you see the block, you go on the angle where the hands are. You're not going at the block. Well, Guidetti's like, attack on the block. Let's go off hands. Let's go for it. And Japan, they're not the highest block. So why don't you challenge it?
So quick 3-1 start. Canada doesn't want it to get away, so they call a quick timeout. Ishikawa coming out of it. Solid pass by Johnson. Van Reich, has she got hands this time? No, she hasn't.
So Canada's having some trouble with this rotation.
So Kira Van Reich's going to be replaced for now by Anna Smrek. Smrek is going to head to Giovanni Guidetti's league in the Turkish league this year. He'll be able to keep a closer eye on her activities. She played at Milano in Italy last year. Here's Ishikawa. She knows about Italy. And she just misses that one long. So a break for the Canadian side.
It's interesting how different that rotation is with Smrek in it. They don't leave her on the outside. They make sure she's hitting on the right side. Whereas Kira Van Reich will never do that run.
Abigail, call me Abby Goosen, back to serve. Tough one. Japan 5-2 lead, early stages, third set. Glad to have you along on Volleyball Nations League. My name is Rob Snook alongside Claire Hanna with Jonathan Ledjard on the sidelines. Great action in the VNL in 2025. Big point scored by Anna Smrek from the right side.
Well, she is a tall blocker, tall hitter. And when she's lined up against this Japanese block, yep, she's going off of the hands, and that's exactly what Guidetti said. Go for the hands. It's not like a Dominican block or a Netherlands block. Much different look.
Here's Stockboom. Seki with the back set to Wada. Is there a touch? No, and it's down to a 1-point Japan lead.
Yeah, and Wada was going off, like that's all she was aiming for, hands. That's why it went out so deep.
Stockboom. Solid for Canada again in her third consecutive start.
So here's a couple missed serves. Once again, reminder, you know, Guidetti was okay with some, but now we're getting into the zone that I think he's going to be a bit disappointed. Just too many losses in a row.
Wada, the leading scorer in the match, back to serve for Japan. Up by 2 in the set, up by 2 in the match, and she clanks it into the net.
And a small victory for Canada. They have officially become the team that has lasted the longest against Japan, as we are now at 1 hour and 16 minutes.
Nice. Just gives us more volleyball. That's the best part. Overhand dig from Goosen. The bump set from Smrek. Oh, what a dig when it drops, and nobody's got a handle on the other end of the Ishikawa play.
Well, there it is once again. Off of the hands, and oh, uncharacteristic of Japan.
Seki does get the second half of this ball. Yoshina is dug. Johnson is dug by Japan as they continue their impressive defense. Yamada from a standing position. Easy defense from Canada. Here's Johnson. Picked up by Ishikawa. Will she swing from the back? No, it's Yoshino. Out of system, Nishimura sets up Wada. Kept alive Canada. Johnson, block. To be pushed over. Good job by Bree to find the setter. Canada attacking with all their weapons. Good dig, Ishikawa. The rally continues. Wada picked up by Watson. Bree sets up Johnson. Scores the point. Holy cow.
This was an incredible rally. The coverage on both sides. All players prepared for any kind of shot, and at the end it's Hillary Johnson in the middle of the court. Loves it.
1 point lead has dissipated. It's 7-7, which I think it was in every set. I think every set has been 7-7 at one point.
Yeah, both teams really tight until we get to about 12-point mark. Guadetti so upset with that because the Canadians have now missed about 3 serves out of the last 5 rotations.
Here's Yoshino. Picked up by Watson. Johnson, covered by Nishimura. Here's Ishikawa, overhand dig Goosen. And Maglio trying, great idea, but keeps it on her own side of the net.
Well, there's some of the regular starters on the Japanese bench, which we expect to see playing against the Dominican tomorrow.
Yoshino. Out of system, here comes the attack from Johnson. Good dig from Wada. Ishikawa, what an angle. What a keep up from Watson. Wada blocked. What a block. What an end to a rally.
Well, and Delaney Watson, the libero for Canada, doing a fantastic job of continuing this rally, and then it's the block of Maglio to finish it off.
8-8, set 3. Hillary Johnson. That happens once in a while.
Yeah, well, it's been happening too much for Canada. Their 14th missed serve. Remember Guadetti? He said, I don't want to get into the 20 area.
Right.
Creeping close.
Yamada, ready to go. Oh, and they miss on the other side. So how many is Japan up to? That's the question.
Well, 11.
Yeah.
Both teams having, both teams have won risk reward with their serves, and it's showing.
But this is going to be an important serve coming up here from Emily Maglio. She's got it done to Yoshino. Ishikawa blocked. Recycled by Japan. Set by Nishimura. Tipped by Ishikawa. Here's Goosen. The windmill swing. And the point for Canada. They're in front.
What a swing from the 19-year-old who plays for the Pandas on the outside, and she didn't go after the block. This was on the block shadow. Fantastic.
They serve it at Ishikawa. They want to keep her busy. Tooled off the block by Wada. Nicely done.
Right now, Wada leads all players with 17 points. 16 of them are attack points. Drills it off the side of the block.
Seki with the serve. Bree has to really run to get that. Here's Goosen. Nice job by Yoshino. Out of system attack. Recycled by Japan. Nishimura sets up Wada. How good is Wada? Wow.
Well, here's the set from the libero. And Goosen actually dropped her hands at the last second, and there was a lot of space available cross court for Wada.
Canada wasn't really ready at the net there. And wasn't really ready for that serve receive, it would seem. And all of a sudden, the lead is 2 for Japan.
Another look here at this really tough serve. That floated at the last second for Goosen.
All break. Setter, Nanami Seki. O'Reilly, setter dunk, perfectly timed, 1-point game.
Well, this is a perfect pass. She's moving back just ever so slightly, and notices Ishikawa didn't put up a block.
Shimira was sort of in tears, but I think they were in jest. I hope. Wada hammers it. Oh my, 19 points for number 13.
Well, she's gotten the last 3 kills in a row for Japan. And if I'm the Canadian squad right now, I've got to start expecting that it's going to go to Wada. But right now, it's just Guzen. Like, if you're Thok Bomb, you kind of got it. Or Thok Boom, rather. Maybe release out that way.
Here's Ishikawa. Guzen, solid pass. Thok Boom off the block. Canada hanging tough with this Japanese team.
Nice force there from O'Reilly, who's off the net.
See where Guzen goes here. She got a last-minute instruction from the coach. No, it wasn't there.
Well, all you can do in a situation like this is you go back and do what you can on serve receive.
Johnson. Seki sets it up for Yoshino. Doug.
Oh, great touch.
Free ball over. Another chance, Japan. Wada. This time it's covered. O'Reilly back set. Smrek. Nicely dug by Seki, but blocked by Johnson and Thok Boom, who go up with the Canadian shield.
Well, this was a wall. Thok Boom closes it, but didn't need to. Johnson doing all the work herself with her right hand.
Canada doing all of this with Kiera Van Reich on the bench. Thok Boom, that's a good builder for the team. Middle attack, it stays on the Japan side.
Yeah, very quick set from Seki to Yamada. I think Yamada was almost a little surprised at how fast that was.
Kiera Van Reich, one of the big cheerleaders on the bench for Canada right now. 14-14, set number 3. Good job by Guzen, out of system, Smrek. Kept alive Nishimura. Yoshino deep, got the touch. Japan back out front.
Well, when it's Smrek up there, she's a target for the Japanese players on offense. Look how high she is above the tape, it's incredible. And she just gets her thumb.
Leading score in the match, Wada back to serve. Taken by Guzen. Everybody wants the second ball. Seki across for Yoshino. Breeze got it up. So that is knocked out by Yamada, and it's point Canada to draw us even at 15.
Well, they've slowly chipped their way back. They were down by 2, which doesn't sound like a lot, but against Japan it is, and it's just unforced errors.
There was some interesting second balls that were taken on that rally. Here's Yoshino. Oh, hammers it at Watson hard. Point Japan.
Yeah, and Japan's serve receive right now is struggling a little bit, but I like this one. Here's the thing. Nishimura steps in, sets a perfect ball up. Sometimes Seki, here's the thing, as a setter, you want to touch every second ball, but when it takes you a while to run there, sometimes it's better for another player to step in.
Look who's back. Kiera Van Reich, the Canadian captain, still their leading scorer in the match with 11 points. She's had a nice rest, and that is an ace! I think it flicked off somebody on the way by.
Yeah, just skipped off the forehands of Guzen, I believe. But what an incredible serve. Here's the thing. She's targeting that seam right in between Delaney Watson and Guzen perfectly. Watson needs to step in and pass.
another ace. How about that for Yoshino?
Japan has found their serve. This is what Serbia and the Netherlands struggled with. And now Canada's struggling.
3-point lead Japan, timeout Canada.
Okay, she has great serve. We need to use more of our transition. We already have million transition. This we have to give. And then I'm asking to take risk in serve. We mistake or 10 meter out or without power in the net. I mean, they win because they serve aggressive. We lose because we don't serve. That's very easy. They serve aggressive, we don't serve. When we do one serve good, then the second is mistake. The volleyball start from service. They start always good, we start always bad. Complicated. Let's go.
Confidence here, man. Trust it. 1, 2, Canada.
And Canada, 5 service errors in this set. That's what Guidetti is saying is unacceptable because, yeah, they might get a good serve, but then the next one's a miss or you're missing 10 meters out. That's not acceptable. They need to, put Japan service even some uncomfortable situations again.
Meanwhile, Yoshino ready to serve again. She has been just rocketing them from the baseline. Taken by Delaney Watson, but it's an overpass. Good job by Breedator. Hands up. Middle attack covered. Recycled by Canada. They go again. Japan comes. Riley's got all her weapons, including Kira Van Reich.
Well, Canada didn't get the pass on the serve receive, but what they did is they got the rest of the defense up. Look at that. Ishikawa was trying to reach back in because they had Maglio. Running the step creates a lot of space for the hitter.
Back row attack from Wada. And Canada got hands on it, but couldn't come up with it.
Well, it's because Wada is so fast. Seki's setting it up so quick that by the time Maglio jumps, she's still kind of on her way up.
19, serving 16. Yamada. Pretty good fake by Maglio, but Guzin couldn't nail it. And it's a 20-16 lead.
Unforced errors right now are hurting Canada.
Body language of Giovanni Guidetti has suddenly dropped. Van Reich, back row. Nice pickup from Wada. Ishikawa. Good job by Guzin to stay off the net. Here's Ishikawa again. That goes off Van Reich. And it's a 5-point lead for Japan.
And this is where Japan is just looking so collected. Ishikawa facing cross court at the last second. Drills it down the line. It had so much pace. Van Reich couldn't get out of the way. Might have been going out.
Yamada, one of the Paris Olympians on this team. Back row attack, Van Reich.
Well, expect her to get the ball right now because here's the thing. Canada is down 2-0. And if they want to get back into it, it's going to be probably Van Reich. That's the lady that can do it.
Here's it, Emily Maglio. Sends it cross court at Ishikawa. She has to pull out the left hand and gets shut down by the setter, Brie O'Reilly.
O'Reilly had all of her hands over top of that. That was so solid. Nowhere for the hitter to go.
All of her hands? Oh, yep. There's just everywhere. Hands. Canada was bringing Borowski in to serve, but a timeout called Japan.
Transition, pay attention, Van Reich. Now we control our emotions and this crowd, okay?
As time goes on, Ferhat Akbas will use Japanese instructions from time to time. He says he's learning them. He knows the volleyball. He knows some Japanese words that affect volleyball. He can use them, but at this point in the journey, he's still going with English.
Well, I like that what he keyed in him and that timeout was the emotions of the crowd, because that's going to play a factor for Canada right now. And Japan can't let it emotionally affect themselves, right? It's easy to get down when after a huge kill from Van Reich, this crowd erupts. Kind of, you feel a lack of confidence. He's saying, no, don't let the emotions play into this.
Lucy Borowski ready to serve.
Well, right now, Canada has caught the missing serve bug. It's contagious.
Nanami Seki, 25-year-old, will celebrate her birthday next week. The setter on this team. Kira sets this one across for Goosen. Blocked, recycled by Canada. Goosen down the line, no touch. Point Japan.
Well, it's been a good test for Goosen. Playing against one of the best teams in the world. We've seen her substituted in a few times, but for some of it, it's a learning experience for the players. She's 19 years old, the first time she's representing Canada on the senior women's national team at Volleyball Nations League.
In for Canada, Rhea Surinks, the 20-year-old from Winnipeg. She comes up with that ball. Van Reich, back row attack, just misses the corner. Set point, match point, Japan. They've got 6 of them here. Canadians kind of work it back one at a time. Here's Nanami Seki trying to finish it. Surinks, nice job to come up with it. And she scores! Two-time MVP of the Canadian University Championships. There's a smile, there's a high five.
Well, she's got to feel good about this. This is her first kill with the senior women's national team for Canada down the line. Confidence builder.
Still 5 set points, but it's over. Tough way to end it, but that's kind of symbolic of the way it went. Canada went hard on the serves. You live by the sword, you kind of die by the sword sometimes. And it is an impressive win, another one for Team Japan. They are now on top of the Volleyball Nations League with their 3rd straight sweep.